Welcome to the Stroke or Not channel. My name's Chris. I had a stroke and now I love aliens. Let's get into the video. So I was watching the Dylan Borland interview on Weaponized. That's the whistleblower that testified to Congress. There's a two-part episode on Weaponized. And the second part, I just have a couple of red flags. I mean, I overall, I believe what he's saying is the truth. He seems like a decent, honorable guy. It's just a couple of red flags when he told that story about the brake lines. Some things just got me tickled in the wrong way. You know what I mean? I just got a weird kind of feeling about it. So I'm going to play what he said here, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
And on the way home, I totaled my car, and there was a police investigation, and the police had told me in confidence that my brake lines were cut. They wanted it to look like a suicide, which goes into what the VA was doing with me and the medical issues and the doctors that had resigned and all that.
So you leave somewhere you were at. Next thing you know, you're pushing your brake to the floor, total the car, but you're able to get home.
Yep.
And you get home, and then, of course, the police see the car totaled, and they either wonder, were you sober? Is everything okay? And you invite them over. You said, come do a breathalyzer.
Yep.
They said, well, it's going to take a while.
Yep.
We're going to contact you tomorrow. And then the lead investigative officer in that case physically comes to your home.
Yep.
And warns you that somebody tried to kill you. Your brake lines were cut.
He verbatim said, the only reason I'm not charging you with a crime is because your brake lines were cut.
I'm not charging you for a crime because your brake lines were cut.
Is there a police report?
There is a police report of the totaled car, and there's a police report of what I said to the officer, which is I went out with a friend who worked for the agency. I had 2-3 drinks playing pool over the night, had some wings on the way home, car totaled.
Does it say in any police report your brake lines were cut?
I have been searching for it, no. And this is what sucks is this is the most damning, and I know what was said to me, and this is the only thing out of all the craziness that I do have evidence to that you guys have seen, these weird polygraph tests and VA tests and all this, but the police report verbatim saying that my brake lines were cut, I am still trying to get proof of.
Exactly. That's a clear.
So everything I'm saying here is my opinion. As I stated earlier, I had a stroke, so I could be completely off base on this. But the first thing that hit me was the when he said he cut the brake lines. And normally when you start your car, the first thing you do is put your foot on the brake because you got to put it in gear. And if you have a new car, you know, I don't know what year this took place. You know, if you don't have a newer car where you just push the button, but you have to put your foot on the brake before you can put the car in gear. And if your lines were cut before you get in the car and the brake fluid was out of the car or leaking out, as soon as you hit your foot on the brake, it would go to the floor. You would notice it before you started driving. So that was a little bit of something's off with that story. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but you would think you put your foot down on the brake, it would go to the floor before you even drove away. So that's my first little, I'm not going to say issue I've got. Something that just went, it doesn't seem right. The other thing that just seemed a little weird, if the police came to his house the next day and said, you know, your brake lines are cut, wouldn't they start an investigation for attempted murder? Because if somebody cut them, it wasn't him. I wouldn't, unless they thought it was him who cut his own brake lines. I don't know. But if somebody cut your lines, wouldn't they just say, well, we've got to open a case because somebody cut your lines and tried to get, wouldn't there be attempted murder? That's just another thing that just didn't sit with me right. And also, when it comes to the insurance, they're going to have to pay out the claim. They thought the brake lines were cut, that you know, insurances, they try not to pay out any excuse not to pay out a claim. So I'm assuming he had insurance, so I assume they would say, whoa, wait a minute, someone cut your brake lines, you know. I don't know. You're probably better off if you don't have proof that actually happened. Cut, and like he said, it's not in the police report. I don't know if I'd be telling that story because you really got no proof. What you need is proof when you're telling a story of that magnitude, which I said, it's not like I don't believe him. I do. He seems credible. I'm just saying that little brake line story, I don't know. I personally might have left that out of my story, whether it's true or not. And it could be completely true. It's just you don't have really hard evidence and things give people a little bit of red flags and go, well, you said this. but you got no proof. And if someone did cut them, why didn't they open an investigation for someone trying to kill you? Could the police wouldn't just, it doesn't, just something, I don't know, it's off. That could be me, because like I said, I did have a stroke, so could be me. But I'm just saying something just hit me the wrong way on that. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know if anything's right or wrong. It's just something hit me with it. As fellow alien enthusiasts, when we got whistleblowers, we got to make sure that their stories are like above board. Not saying his isn't above board, but we got to make sure that you got to cut out any of the stuff that critics and so say he said this or she said that, because we got to get more people into this topic, and the more, because they can put more pressure on Congress. You know, politicians, they love, you put pressure on them, they start doing stuff. The more people we have to come to our side and say, because we all know that this is real. We wouldn't be liking this topic. We all know that there's something here. There is something here, because we're not just here to live, work, and then die. There's something going on here. We all know that. That's why we're involved in the subject. So we're gonna need, when you're making not allegations, when you make it stories like that, you got to make sure you can. So if you can't prove something, you're probably better off just leaving that part out, to be quite honest with you, because the debunkers are going to go all over and go, well, if this one little part isn't right, then the whole thing is wrong, and that's not the case. Maybe I don't know if this did or did not happen. I know, but I'm just looking at the debunker's standpoint. They're gonna rip that one little part apart, and they're going to use it to make him seem like, oh, then this doesn't make sense. The whole thing doesn't make sense, and it's just not fair to him. It's not fair to us. So that's why I'm saying maybe sometimes you want to leave that stuff out because it throws up a couple of weird red flags, and I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, to be honest with you. But that's why I made this video. Just like I said, I don't think he's dishonest. He seems like a decent guy, and I think all the stuff did happen to me. That whole just brake line thing, I don't know. If you had the police report that said, hey, your lines are definitely cut, then that's a home run. But without it, it's not a home run. So you just would have thought with George Knapp's, obviously he's a reporter, and his connections and the way he does business, he would be easier for him to look it up, get a copy of the police report, get the cop's name, maybe interview the policeman who came to his house, go find him, send him an email, call him up. Even if he's not a cop anymore, he most likely, I would assume, is still alive, but I don't know. And ask the guy, hey, did you ever go to his house? I mean, this is simple. You can verify this very simply. You just go and do that. So I don't know why they didn't do that. You think they're going to put this in the story? It's something as a reporter could go do and just ask the guy, did you ever say this? He's going to say yes or no. He's going to say no comment. And even if he said no comment, that means he actually did do it. So it would actually be a good answer. No, I never did that. I don't know. I'm just thinking it's something that could be verified. Just a thought. What do you guys think? Comment below. Tell me I'm an idiot. Oh, you had a stroke, dude. You know what the hell you're talking about. That's possible too. I don't know. But give a like if you like it. Subscribe. Just start this channel because I'm very interested in the topic. And I think it'd be fun. And I would like to do some analysis. I think I have something to offer. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Leave me a comment. Say you're an idiot. Just shut your mouth. And that's fair too. But thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.